Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And I'm going to remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Now we're not getting into the early 250 mode, but we are there. I mean, America 250, can't celebrate that. What are you doing here? But it is National U.S. Postage Stamp Day. So look at all those different stamps. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk, AM 1490 and FM 98.1 video feed. Lots of stamps. And I also note it is National Postal Worker Day. Whatever you do, don't get them upset with you because they might go postal. Yeah. Yes, I went there. Sorry. But that, you just had to do it. National Ginger Snap Day. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if I'm into a ginger snap cookies. I like lots of cookies. Josh, you into ginger snap cookies? It's, the closest I guess I get to that might be the almond cookies that you get at a Chinese restaurant. But I don't know about a ginger snap cookie. I don't know. But I can get behind Creative Ice Cream Flavors Day. Now I'm an old-fashioned guy. Josh, we should have put that in there as our question of the day. What's your favorite ice cream flavor? Peanut butter and chocolate for me. That's mine's peanut butter and chocolate. I don't know what are you thinking there for your favorite ice cream flavor? And if you're listening to us, on RonSiegelRadio.tv, put it in the chat. We will see it. If you're listening on AM 1490 or FM 98.1 on the radio, well, just go ahead and yell because we'll hear you. The radios nowadays are bi-directional. So, we know who's listening to what. They know what they're tracking us all the time. And when you put that in there on your phone, you know that the phones are always listening. The phones are always on there. So just say your favorite ice cream flavor, and I would venture to guess. Now, I don't know, but I'll be willing to bet that it'll show up on your phone all day long. The rest of the day, you'll get all sorts of ads for ice cream. So I'm putting in there peanut butter and chocolate ice cream. Tell me what yours is. Butter, and I just put mine in the chat. It's there. Peanut butter and chocolate. Well, I put it in private chat. I guess you can't see private chat. Only Josh sees that one. So maybe I should put it into the chat where others can see it. Okay, I got it in there. Peanut butter and chocolate. So if you want to send us some ice cream, feel free anytime. You can send ice cream. Josh, did you put yours out there? What's your I like Rocky Road. Of course, I've beaten anorexia, so all kinds of ice creams are good for me. Not good on the diet, not good on these shots that we're taking. Still working on losing some weight, but peanut butter and chocolate is the one that I enjoy. Let's move right along and see what the markets are doing today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average. Wow, that one's up. This is kind of an odd thing here. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 359 points right now as we speak. 359 points. The NASDAQ is down 63. The S&P 500 is up 18. Oil down $1.46 a barrel. Yeah, not in California. Don't get excited here because in California, we just got more taxes starting today. So we get a higher gas prices. We have Gavin. He likes to tax us on everything. $3.85 a gallon is the national average. Stayed the same from yesterday. 541 was the current number yesterday for gasoline in California. Again, I mentioned we've got an addition to the excise tax. That starts today. So we get to have more taxes on there. Josh, what are you about, 440 a gallon there on gas? 440 in Nevada, 541 in California. You got to love California and the taxes that we have. If it moves, they'll tax it. If it doesn't move, they'll tax it. If it's alive, they tax it. And when we die, they tax it. So no matter what is being done, California finds a way to tax it just the way we are here. And we keep voting for the same people, so we get to keep adding more and more to our tax base. I got all those Supreme Court rulings yesterday. Are they going to have any effect on our home and finance rates? No. We're not seeing anything there. We're seeing that the legislature, they can't get anything done. So what does a good legislature do when they can't get anything done? They go on vacation. So they left Washington to head back to their districts to act like they're working. Are they really working back in their districts, or are they just not getting anything done in Washington? Now, I think Texas has it right there. Now, you've got a part-time legislature. Could you imagine how much better California would be if we had a part-time legislature where they didn't have as much time to tax us and figure out new ways of setting more taxes? I was looking at some of an image this morning of some of the new taxes and new laws that are going into effect today. Food and beverage products, labeling quality, dates, safety dates, and sell-by dates. New law, AB 660. Allergen Disclosure for Dining Experiences Act, SB 68. Phone-Free School Act. Every California school district, charter school, and county office of education must adopt a policy limiting or prohibiting student smartphone use during the school day, AB 3216. Do you have anything like that in Nevada, Josh? No, they're the land of the free out there in Nevada. Abundant and Affordable Homes Near Transit Act. Autonomous Vehicles Act, California Tax Adjustment, California Gas Tax Adjustment. So the old rate was 61.2 cents, new rate 63.4 cents. Again, that's effective July 31st, 2026. Firearms, converter pistols, school facilities, all gender restrooms, pupil and student safety identification cards, change of name and gender and sex identifier, that's AB 1084. Change of name or gender and sex identifier, SB 59. So you get two of them doing basically the same thing. And local minimum wage ordinance increases. That's another one that's going into effect today. Gotta love California, all these new laws. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, a new home saves you $25,000 in 10 years. The move costs erase it. We'll tell you the math. The housing market is stronger than you think. You track your coffee order better than your budget. We'll show you the math on that one. And a loan is not good or bad. It's a tool. Most people use it wrong. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, and every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They don't tell us points paid, points received, or the APR. They only tell us the number you put in your mortgage calculator to determine your principal and interest payment. What did rates do yesterday? Conventional 30-year fix, 6.452. That was up. Jumbo 30-year fix, 6.401. That was down. FHA 30-year fix, 6.286. That was up. VA 30-year fix, 6.031. That was up. USDA 30-year fix, 6.276. That was up. Let's see what the markets are doing today. The S&P 500 is up 19.15. Oil down $1.42 a barrel. 10-year Treasury, it's down just a little bit, 4.46 right now. And the mortgage bond is up 6 basis points. Remember, bond up, rates down, but the bond was down so much yesterday, it's not even anywhere close to what we saw yesterday. So we're going to be watching that one very, very closely. What is driving all of this? That's the question that we have to ask. So the 10 years up 5 basis points, almost, it's come back down a little bit since we're getting ready. While oil prices are lower and trading around, right now we're at $68.05 a barrel. $68.05. Yeah, $68.05. Ooh. So Cleveland Fed President Beth Hammack stoked inflation fears yesterday with some bizarre comments on why she feels the Fed needs to hike and why inflation will rise. She said that higher oil prices caused inflation to rise, but she also feels lower oil prices will cause inflation. Wait, did I just hear that correctly? It's got to be she said that oil prices caused inflation to rise, but she also feels lower oil prices will cause inflation. Okay, I guess we heard it right. She believes the drop in oil prices will cause consumers to have more discretionary income, which will cause prices to rise. She also said that AI will cause more inflation, despite the fact that most others, like Fed Chair Warsh, believe it will be deflationary because of the productivity increases. We're already seeing AI cause job cuts. Challenger says that AI was the top reason for job cuts for the fourth month in a row in June, accounting for 31% of the job cuts. Year to date, it has accounted for nearly 1/4 of all job cuts. I disagree with Hammock. She doesn't know what she's talking about. I think she's trying to take over for Jerome Powell.
Such an idiot.
Yeah.
Such an idiot.
She is a voting member, and the bond market reacted negatively yesterday and is following through today. We believe she is clearly showing her hawkish bias and wants to hike rates. ADP released their June employment report showing that there were 98,000 jobs created, which was a little weaker than the 110,000 expected, but still in line with the relatively stronger job figures we have seen over the last few months. Job growth was seen in all sized businesses, with small businesses leading the way. Half the jobs came from education and health services, which added 48,000 jobs and continues to be the main source of job creation. The rest of the jobs were somewhat spread out throughout sectors, but there was not a big pickup in leisure and hospitality, as many expected from the World Cup. That was seen in the previous month. Turning to wages, workers stayed at the same job, saw their wages increase by 4.4% year over year, which was unchanged from the previous report. Job switchers, those changing jobs, saw their pay increase 6.6% from last year, which is up from 6.5% in May. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by rsrloans.com, rsrloans.com. Your Credit Matters segment today. Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. Your morning coffee crossed an ocean, passed through a dozen pairs of hands, and survived a journey most people never stop to think about. Your money deserves that much attention, at least. I am Ron Siegel, certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Here's a number for you. About 49% of Americans drink coffee every single day. That's roughly half the country starting the morning the same way, and almost nobody thinks about how that cup got to their kitchen table. So let me walk you through it, because there is a lesson hiding in here. Coffee is one of the largest food imports in the entire United States. Your cup might start on a farm in Brazil or Vietnam. Some of it comes from giant plantations, some from tiny family farms. The harvest gets sold to a mill, sometimes straight from the farmer, sometimes to a trader who's betting he can resell it for more. The mill takes the coffee cherries, and yes, they are called cherries because the beans are red, and dries them and strips off the husk to reveal the green bean inside. Importers ship those green beans into the United States. They sell them to roasters and big coffee brands whose roasting plants usually sit in port cities where the ships come in. The beans get roasted, ground or left whole, packaged, shipped to distribution centers, then trucked out to store or the coffee house where you finally buy it. Farmers, truckers, shippers, roasters, retail workers, hundreds of people touched your $5 cup before you did. So what does this have to do with your money? Everything. Here's the point. Your coffee runs on a system, a long, complicated, invisible system, and so does your household money. The difference is most people can tell you exactly how they like their coffee down to the temperature, but they cannot tell you their blended household interest rate. They track the small cup with care and ignore the giant expense. I'm not here to tell you to give up your coffee. That tired advice misses the whole point. The point is awareness. If you paid as much attention to the system behind your money as the system behind your coffee, you would be in a very different financial position. Let me make it real. Picture a family with a $655,000 mortgage, a couple of credit cards, and a car loan. They watch the price of their latte, but they have never once added up what all their debt actually cost them together. That combined number, the blended rate across everything they owe, is the number that actually controls their monthly cash flow, not the price of coffee. This is why I always say strategy beats rate always. It is not about chasing the lowest rate on one loan or skipping one cup of coffee. It is about seeing the whole system and managing it on purpose. So what does this mean for you? Start by seeing your system. Add up every debt, every payment, every rate. Find your blended household interest rate, build a budget that shows you where the money actually goes. When you can see the system, you can change it. If you want a simple place to start, go to rsrlinks.com/keysteps. That's rsrlinks.com/keysteps. It helps you organize your budget and your numbers so you can finally see your whole money picture, not just the small stuff. Your coffee traveled thousands of miles through a system built by hundreds of people. Your money runs on a system too. The only question is whether you are paying attention to it. I am Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Thanks for listening to the Your Credit Matters segment, brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, a new home saves you $25,000 in 10 years. The move-in costs, erase it. We'll show you the math. And a loan is not good or bad. It's a tool. Most people use it wrong. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing real estate, current events, and the financial markets. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 0186945.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. There's a number floating around right now that says buying a brand new home could save you more than $25,000 over your first 10 years compared to buying a house that's 20 years old. That sounds great, and it's mostly true. But there's a second half to that story that nobody puts on the graphic. And if you skip it, you could get a nasty surprise. I am Ron Siegel, certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. So let's start with the good news because it's real. When you buy a newly built home, you're getting a brand new roof, a brand new HVAC system, air conditioner, and a brand new water heater. That's a big deal. Those are the three things that cost real money to replace on an older home. A 20-year-old house, its roof is halfway through its life. The furnace is on borrowed time. The water heater could go any winter. New construction is also more energy efficient, better windows, better insulation, tighter everything. So your energy bill runs lower and your repair bills in those early years run close to zero. Add it all up over 10 years, and the average buyer comes out ahead by more than $25,000, even though the new home looked more expensive on day one. And that's the part that stops the scroll. And it's worth knowing. But here's what I want you to hear because I've walked too many families through this. The sticker price on a new build is not the number you'll actually spend to move in. Picture this. You tour the model home. It's gorgeous. Beautiful flooring, upgraded counters, window coverings on every window, a finished backyard with a patio and landscaping. You fall in love. Then you find out the model is loaded with upgrades and the base house you're buying comes with almost none of that. So what does that mean for you? It means the real costs start stacking up fast. Window coverings for a whole house can run you several $1,000s. And you need them on day one unless you want the whole neighborhood watching you eat dinner. Upgraded flooring because builder-grade carpet and vinyl wear out quick. Upgraded counters if you don't want the basic laminate. And then the backyard, a lot of new homes hand you a bare patch of dirt. Landscaping and hardscape, the patio, the walkways, the retaining walls that you can run you $20,000, $30,000, even $40,000 or more to do right, especially in here in California where everything costs about double the national number. None of that is the $25,000 savings graphic. It's not in there. That's move-in money, and it's on top of your down payment. So let me give you the single most important tip I've got for buying new, and it costs you nothing. Bring your realtor with you the very first time you visit that new build. The very first time. Here's why. Most builders have a rule. If you walk in without your agent, you can lose the right to have that realtor represent you in the deal. And that matters because the friendly person sitting in the model home does not work for you. They work for the builder. The builder's contract is written for the builder's benefit, not yours. You want a professional in your corner reading that contract, negotiating for you, and protecting your interests. Bring them the first visit, and it doesn't cost you a dime extra to have that representation. Now, here's the next thing. And this is the one that really matters for your wealth. The builder is running a business. Their job is to get the maximum price the market will pay for that home. And they're good at it. That means when you buy new, you're usually paying full retail, right at the top of what the home is worth that day. So what happens in year one, year two, year three? Very often, not much appreciation equity, because not only did you pay the top of the market from the builder, you then had to put in all the money to do the upgrades and to do the hardscape and landscape. Very often, not much appreciation equity. You paid top dollars, so there's not a lot built in gap between what you paid and what it's worth. On a resale home, sometimes you can buy a little under market, or even if you buy at market, you're not having to put all that extra money into it. Or buy one that needs a little love and force some equity. On a new build, that head start usually isn't there. And here's a pro tip that can save you real money. Most newly built homes come with a 1-year builder warranty. So here's what smart buyers do. In month 10 or month 11, before that warranty runs out, they hire an independent home inspector to do a full, comprehensive inspection. That inspector finds the little things that have shown up in the first year, the settling cracks, the door that won't close right, the plumbing that drips. You report those items to the builder while they're still on the hook to fix them for free. Wait until month 13, and every one of those repairs comes out of your pocket. Let me give you an example. Imagine a family buying a home here with a loan amount of $655,000. Remember, purchase price is not the $655,000. That is higher once you add the down payment on top of that. They budget for the loan and the down payment. They feel ready. And then the window coverings, the flooring upgrade, and the backyard add up to another $35,000, maybe more, that they didn't plan for. Meanwhile, 3 years go by and the home has barely moved in value because they bought at the top. That's not a disaster, but it's a very different picture than the one on the flyer, and it's the picture I'd want you to see before you sign. So am I telling you not to buy new? Absolutely not. A new home can be a fantastic decision. Lower maintenance, lower energy bills, and a place that's truly yours from day one. That's $25,000 long-term edge is real. I'm telling you to buy new with your eyes opened. Bring your realtor the first visit. Budget for the upgrades. Budget for the backyard. Get that month 10 inspection and go in knowing the first couple of years may be about enjoying the home, not watching the equity climb. Strategy beats rate always. And strategy means planning for the whole number, not just the sticker. That's exactly the kind of thing we map out together before you ever make an offer. I'll help you build a real budget that includes the upgrades, the backyard, and the move-in costs, and nothing blindsides you. Go to rsrlinks.com/keysteps. That's rsrlinks.com/keysteps. It's a simple way to get your budget and your next steps organized before you fall in love with a model. I am Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Thanks for listening to the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by rsrwealthbuilder.com, rsrwealthbuilder.com. Picture this. You owe $18,000 across 3 credit cards. The interest rates run from 18% to 24%. You make the payments every single month and the balance barely moves. What if you could cut that rate down to 10% without selling a thing? I am Ron Siegel, certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Here's something most people never hear. A personal loan is not good or bad on its own. It's a tool. And like any tool, it works when you use it the right way, and it hurts when you do not. Let me walk you through it. A personal loan gives you a lump sum of cash. You pay it back over a fixed term with a fixed payment and a fixed rate. No collateral. You can use it for almost anything. Let me give you 5 smart ways to use one. And then I want to add the strategy lens on top. Reason 1, consolidate high interest debt. This is the big one. Say you carry $18,000 in credit card debt at rates between 18% and 24%. Roll that into a personal loan at 10%, and you cut your interest cost roughly in half. Same debt, same you, lower rate, and a clear payoff date. That is not magic, that is math. Reason 2, fund a major purchase without draining your savings. When you pay cash for a big expense, you empty the account that protects you. A personal loan lets you keep your emergency fund where it belongs, ready for the car repair or the medical bill you did not see coming. Safety and liquidity matter more than people think. Reason 3, cover the unexpected. A sudden medical bill, an urgent car repair, a personal loan gives you fast lump sum and structured payoff instead of a credit card balance that follows you around for years. Reason 4, build your credit. Your payment history is about 35% of your credit score. That's the single biggest piece. Every on-time payment on a personal loan is a positive mark. Over time, those marks add up. If you want to see where your score stands before you borrow, check it first at rsrlinks.com/FICO, rsrlinks.com/FICO. Reason 5, it usually beats leaning on a high credit card rate. Cards pull you into a cycle of minimum payments and never-ending balances. A personal loan has a finish line. So what does this mean for you? Here's where I want to slow down. I just gave you 5 good reasons, and now I want to give you one warning. Strategy beats rate always. Getting a 10% loan instead of a 24% card is a win. But the smartest move is not just chasing the lowest rate on one loan, it's looking at your whole picture. I call it your household blended interest rate. That's the true cost of every dollar you owe, all your debts blended together, mortgage included. Here's an example. Imagine a homeowner with a $645,000 mortgage and that same $18,000 in credit card debt. If you only stare at the credit card rate, you panic and grab the first loan you see. But when you look at the whole household, you might find a smarter path that lowers the blended cost across everything you owe, not just one balance. That's the difference between eligibility and suitability. A lot of people are eligible for a personal loan. The question I ask is whether it is suitable for your full financial life. That is what a certified liability advisor does. A personal loan can be the right move. It can also be a quick fix that hides a bigger problem. The only way to know is to look at the whole board, not one square. If you want help seeing your whole picture, building a budget, and finding your real next step, start at rsrlinks.com/keysteps. That's rsrlinks.com/keysteps. It's where I help you organize your credit, your budget, and your assets so you can make the smart move instead of the fast one. I am Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Thanks for listening to the Borrow Smart segment brought to you by rsrwealthbuilder.com, rsrwealthbuilder.com. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, the housing market is stronger than you think and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at RonIsMyLender.com. That's RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. The housing market is stronger than you think. You've probably heard plenty of doom and gloom about the housing market lately. High rates, stretched budgets, headlines that make buying or selling sound like a terrible idea, but the data tells a very different story. I am Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. This isn't 2020 or 2021. It was never going to be. Those were the unicorn years. Historic low mortgage rates, bidding wars on everything, homes flying off the market in days. That kind of market was a once-in-a-generation anomaly, not a baseline. So when people compare today to that, of course it looks rough. But compared to almost any other housing market in modern history, this one is holding up remarkably well. One of the biggest reasons this market hasn't cracked is the financial strength of the American homeowner. According to the Federal Reserve data, homeowner equity and mortgage debt were nearly identical in 2008. That means if someone hit a rough patch, they had almost nothing to fall back on. That's what made the crash so bad. Today, total homeowner equity across the country sits at $35 trillion, dwarfing total mortgage debt. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490, FM 98.1 video feed, you are seeing a chart why 2026 is nothing like 2008. That gap means most homeowners aren't stretched thin or one bad month away from trouble. They own a meaningful chunk of their home, and that gives them options. If they need to sell, many could because they have a cushion, and that cushion grows over time. Realtor.com found that homeowners who've been in their home just 5 years have built up around $180,000 in equity on average. Stick around 6 to 10 years, and that jumps to over $340,000. Data from Adam and the census shows 2/3 of homeowners either own their home outright or have more than 50% equity. That's not a fragile market. That's a population of homeowners who are financially positioned to sell, to stay, or to make their next move from a place of strength rather than pressure. Low rates and low foreclosures. At the same time, Federal Housing Finance Agency, FHFA data shows more than half of all active mortgages still carry a rate below 4%, and you're seeing that in the graph right now. It's the lock-in effect remains at a key market dynamic. That's the big reason inventory stays tight. Those homeowners aren't in a rush to trade their rate for a higher one. They're sitting comfortably in a strong financial position, not scrambling. That comfort shows up in the foreclosure numbers too. Despite a slight uptick, foreclosure volumes remain dramatically below historic norms. According to Adam, homeowners aren't losing their homes in droves. They have equity, they have breathing room, and most have options that keep them out of financial distress. Here's another point on the resilience of the market. Redfin research shows home prices are still rising, but the pace has slowed, now closer to 2% year over year nationally. And you're seeing that in the graph. A resilient market is supporting home values. That slowdown is good news. As Daryl Fairweather, chief economist at Redfin, explains, we're in the middle of a long-term housing market correction, not a housing market crash. After the pandemic era, frenzy sent prices soaring and inventory to historic lows. The market needed a reset. This market isn't broken and waiting for a crash that isn't coming has a cost. Every month spent on the sidelines is a month someone else is building equity, locking in a price or getting ahead of what most experts expect to be a housing surge once broader conditions settle. Whether you're thinking about buying or selling, a local real estate agent can help you figure out what this housing market means for your specific situation and what your next move could look like. If you want to meet a real estate agent in your market, I've got report cards on every one of them. If you want to know everything there is to know about your house from a financial standpoint, rsrlinks.com/myhome. rsrlinks.com/myhome. It's a report that we send out on a regular basis telling you all the specifics about your house. It's not about the house down the street. It's not about a national number. It's about your house. I am Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Thanks for listening to the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. There are 7 words inside the credit world that quietly cost regular families thousands of dollars a year, and most people get every single one of them wrong. I am Ron Siegel, certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Today, I want to walk through 7 credit words that sound simple, but the people who understand them keep more of their money every single time. Let's start with the first one, credit report. Your credit report is not your credit score. They are 2 different things. Think of your FICO score as your GPA in school. One number, a summary. Your credit report is a full transcript, every class, every grade, every late assignment going back years. When a lender pulls your file, they're not just looking at the number, they're reading the story. And the story is where the savings live. Because a 720 score with a clean story will often beat a 740 score with a messy one. Number 2, inquiry. When somebody looks at your credit, that shows up. There are 2 kinds, a hard inquiry, which happens when you apply for a credit card, and a soft inquiry, which is when you check your own score or when a lender does a soft pre-screen. Here's what most people don't know. A soft inquiry does nothing to your score, nothing. So when somebody tells you they are afraid to check their own FICO because they think it'll hurt them, that is a myth. You can check your own FICO at rsrlinks.com/FICO, rsrlinks.com/FICO, and it costs you 0 points. Number 3, delinquent. I know it sounds like a kid skipping school. In the credit world, it just means a payment is past due. That's it. It does not mean you're a bad person. It does not mean you're reckless. It means a payment did not arrive on time. But here's the part that matters. A delinquency is one of the biggest score killers in the whole FICO model. One 30-day late on a mortgage can drop a 760 score down into the 670s. That is not a typo. One single missed payment. So if you are sitting on a great score right now, the most valuable thing you can do is keep paying on time. Boring, powerful, boring and powerful. Number 4, utilization. This is the silent killer. Utilization is the amount of credit card debt you are carrying compared to your credit terms. If you have a $10,000 limit and you owe $9,000, your utilization is 90% and your score is getting hammered. If you owe $1,000 on that same card, you're at 10% and your score breathes. Now, here's the strategy piece. A lot of people pay their credit card off in full every month, and they still get killed on utilization. Why? Because the bank reports the balance to the bureaus before the statement closes. So the score sees a high balance even though you pay it off. That's exactly the kind of thing we look at. Strategy beats rate always. rsrccpayment.com. rsrccpayment.com is the strategy for you. Number 5, forbearance. Forbearance is a fancy word for a pause. The lender pauses your payment. The lender does not disappear. The balance does not disappear, but you are not required to pay for a stretch of time. People use this a lot in 2020 and 2021. Here's the catch. Forbearance is not a free lunch. It can still show up on your credit file in ways that affect future borrowing, especially on a mortgage. So before you ever push a payment into forbearance, you want a certified liability advisor looking at the whole picture, because pausing one payment can cost you a refinance 6 months later. Number 6, version. FICO is not one score. There are different versions of the FICO score, just like there are different versions of your iPhone. The score a car dealer pulls is not the same version your mortgage lender pulls. The score your credit card app shows you on your phone is almost never the version a mortgage underwriter sees. This is why people walk into my office saying, my app says 760, and the mortgage pull comes back at 712. They are not lying. They are looking at the wrong version. The mortgage industry uses older, stricter versions on purpose. If you want to see the right version, go to rsrlinks.com/FICO. Number 7, Credit Invisible. This one breaks my heart because it usually hits younger borrowers or people new to this country. Credit Invisible means you don't have enough credit history or FICO to even score you. No score at all. Not a bad credit, no credit. And no score means no mortgage, no car loan, no apartment in a lot of cases. The fix is simple. You need at least one account open for 6 months or more and at least one account reporting in the last 6 months. A secured credit card, a small loan, a cosign line, something, because invisibility costs more than a low score ever did. So what do you do with all this? Here's an example. A California family carrying a $650,000 mortgage, 2 credit cards close to their limit, and 1 old collection still on the file. National numbers would say a mortgage balance like that lives around $330,000, but in California, equity and balances tend to run about double the national figures. So 650 is realistic here. That family thought their problem was the interest rate. It wasn't. Their problem was their FICO score sitting at 684 instead of 740. Once we cleaned up the utilization on the 2 cards and got the collection re-aged, the score moved 50 points. 50 points on a $650,000 mortgage is real money. We're talking hundreds of dollars a month, every single month for the life of the loan. That's what I mean by strategy beats rate always. Here's the action items for today. Go to rsrlinks.com/keysteps. That's rsrlinks.com/keysteps. That is where we map out your credit, your budget, and the assets you are building toward. Step by step, rsrlinks.com/keysteps, because you cannot fix what you're not willing to look at, and you cannot grow what you're not willing to track. I am Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Thanks for listening to the Your Credit Matters segment, brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. And as always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean, who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.